We're going for 3-0. Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match of Week 2, Season 73. And we have been having a good week, winning our first 2 rounds. In round 2, up against my opponent, Roman Leaf here. He cleared the first territory. You can see he one-shot all of this, but then he started having trouble. My defense has been doing well this week. He put an attempt on Lord Vader, preloaded it. He didn't have any trouble with the other team. And then in the top territory, he took 2 attempts up against Maul, and from there he stopped. He had a pretty good defense, set down a lot of teams. I misplayed the SLKR, but and I was playing against the clock. I could have cleared that had I had a little bit more time, but I had to leave. But I secured the win, so it was good enough. And for our final round opponent, to see if we can go 3-0 this week, we have Zool, who is a 13.0 million GP account, so smaller than mine. We have a 240k advantage. We have more Zetas by about 24. Amis, we have more by 13. We're tied on GLs. He has 2 more relic units. We're pretty much even, but I have advantages in a number of metrics. By the relic tier total, he's at 1545 to my 1533. And with that distribution, we're tied at tier 3. I have more at tier 5. He has more at tier 7 and tier 8, but I have more at tier 9. So we're kind of splitting this. I'm probably a little bit more bottom heavy than him though overall. With the modding game, we're basically even here too. Like, this guy looks to be like we're fighting my mirror. There's certain things we're bouncing back and forth about, but we're very similar. I'm having the edge in most cases. He beats me on the top 25 average. I'm beating him on the top 500 average. I have 10 more 25 plus speed mods. Actually, we're starting to see a bigger difference here where I have like 116 more 20 plus mods. I've got 100, almost 200 more 15 plus mods. Datacrons. He's probably going to have good Datacrons. It looks like he pushed for the level 6 crons, probably did a lot of rerolls. Not something I wasn't as concerned about doing that. I know that's the predominant theory. Most players were going for it. I was fine kind of going about it the way that I did. Now, he looks to have speed advantages on almost all of the GLs, if not all. No, almost all. I've got a couple. So that is a signifier that his modding's probably pretty good. He's got a slower Melgus, though. No Idenami. His Star Killer is fine. Triple Ami. We've got Afra with a single Ami. And then we're looking at... not the end. It's 3v3 right now, right? Yeah. So Swallow doubles. We got cracks. We got a triple Malicos, single on Baudelaire, triple Bane, nothing on Jar Jar. His Amis are kind of all over the place. There's not like a consistent pattern because there's some characters where he has 2 on the characters, then nothing on Jocasta. He doesn't have the new characters. Then he's got triple on a few like Exile and Dre. Balin's a double. Nothing on Night Trooper, and Gideon not at relics. Interesting. As we take a look at the details, looking at the quality of his modding, we're looking for a Night Trooper here. With Night Trooper, how far down we going? There's Moff Gideon, Swallow, there's Jar Jar and Star Killer. Star Killer was slow, so we've passed him. Where are you? Oh, I passed him early. Night Trooper is in this range of what would be 48 characters if he got to the end. And his final 300 speed characters, Forlom Stap is at 299. That puts him at 51 characters. I'm approaching 70, so we do have an advantage. I think the modding overall is pretty good. There's some things that are a little bit more questionable, like I think Watt, Rex, like I guess Jocasta, definitely Swallow would all benefit from being faster. Like CLS's and Third Sister are pretty easy to get fast. Star Killer is a bit slow. So I think modding is another thing that is definitely in my favor. Has not attacked yet. We'll quickly click through this so you can see what I don't have available. Have not made any changes. The last time I made changes were at the beginning of the week. During this week of Grand Arena, I have not. And here, Now with his defense, what do we got to worry about? We got Ahsoka, Saw, Cadme, Finn, and we got Rey. Older mod set, mostly purples, which is an advantage. Let's check the support cron. It's got a good support cron on Saw, so we got to be a little careful there. And down below we are looking at purples, but a couple of the new sets, probably a weaker tank cron, and then support, and a weaker support cron. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the powerful level 6s. Okay, and then we got Pirate Hondo, Lord Vader. What was that? There was Rey up above, right? Yeah, Rey was up above. All right. I think I know how we're playing this. Maybe I shouldn't do this one first, but we are. Do I not have a preset for this? This is just ridiculous. That I don't have a Seer Junda preset for this team yet. Seer Junda, Maliko, Starkiller. I really got to look at the modding for this for next week, because my win rate on this is not where it needs to be. Well, let's go. Without Exile, we should be able to get away with this counter. And I really prefer doing that because it just makes my life easier if we can win this way. Alright. That was nothing. Awesome. Okay, triggered that one. She's in her stance. She is pretty fast. Alright, let's basic. Take out Swallow. He's already been triggered. Okay. Ooh. Alright, let's get protection up. This should finish her off. Great. Great. Now, looking at Saw, then Ahsoka. Ahsoka has to be Leia at this stage. We don't have another counter. And I've been doing the support cron. Right? Okay, so I've just been using dark side ones because I don't apparently have crit damage, protection, armor penetration. 31, 52. It's a lot less protection, but there's a bunch of other things. You know what? Let's take this one because I can't actually use that Chrono with Cad Bane because my Forlom is level relic 2 because it doesn't have enough stars. All right, how's this gonna go? Let's get our stealth where it needs to be so nobody gets exposed early. Drop that onto Hu Yang. Big hit, awesome. Hu Yang's down early. That's good. Okay. Click here so that to get the assist call, because we can't call the assist onto Exile. Can we stun? Awesome. Alright, you're shifting into your stance. Let's do one of these. Now, this is good. We got rid of the protection over on Exile, but now he's going to get some stuff back. Or no, he's not. Alright, let's get a stun. Awesome. Let's drop this. There we go. Alright, we can auto. Alright, now we got Lord Vader. Lord Vader, we can Maz Kanata. What else was down there? We had, I thought there was, oh, Pirate Hondo. We can SOKR Pirate Hondo. And then we can start figuring out how to handle some of the other things that we're seeing. Saw Guerrera being one of the concerns, but we'll get to the back wall first. I haven't scouted this guy, haven't checked his history, so don't really know what's going on. I'll probably pull up his history in a minute to check what his back wall might potentially be. Also to just see how opponents have been doing up against him. Alright, we got Witchcron, First Order, Dark Side, a little max health, max protection, not a bad choice, but there's better ones. Let's grab Pirates, Maz Kanata, Hondo, and Quagold is what I've been using. And that is a Pirate Kron. Yes. Alright, we're going to throw the captive over onto Apo, neutralize him for a minute while we focus on Lord Vader. Quaggle to throw the blind and tenacity down out. We will cleanse. Now we're starting our attack on the Vader, ignoring that protection up. There, now we're into the yellow. Red. He's hit the alt, which means ability blocks and dazes. Which, not ideal, but come on. No, I don't like that. Come on, let me get him, let me get him, let me get him. Worried. No! Alright, we gotta up that for next week. That's modding its relic levels a little bit. Alright, we can forfeit that. But that's actually a big problem. Because now, alternate counters to Lord Vader have shrunk a ton. But it's not a good Pirate Hondo Kron. But the only other really good alternative to that was Sir Jundo, which is gone. Alright, I think I kind of know what I want to do. Sea Bane has about an 84% win rate up against it. The tough part is this Lord Vader, there is a Mandalorian version that has been winning last week. Using this, well, some of them are also using BAM. It doesn't seem to matter. More people have been doing BAM. Let's take a look. It must be the attacker card. So do I think this makes the difference? So that this can beat Lord Vader? Or are they using a support card? So we're getting extra damage for each buff on the target enemy. There's not a ton of buffs going around. We're able to ignore stealth and taunt if they have no debuff on them. That's not really going to matter. We're going to gain accuracy up and offense stacking until the end of the battle whenever an ally inflicts a debuff. And whenever an ally attacks out of turn, we're dealing bonus true damage and defense penetration. That sounds like maybe it's doing more. The only other possibility would be a support Kron. Or not a support Kron. A healer Kron. Is that a healer? Is Grogu a healer? Okay, healer Kron. Healing immunity on all enemies. Fallen below. Because the thing is, this has a higher win rate than using Sea Bane. It's gotta be the attacker Kron. Okay, crit chance in there, or health, tenacity, crit damage, armor penetration. I like that more. Wish the level 3 was better. versus... I like this level 3 more. Am I going in with this? Because I have to go after Lord Vader to start. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it. If we burn my bow, we burn my bow. Alright, so we call in the assist. We get a hit off. Couple hits off. 3 hits off. We're going to drop an armor shred. Basic. Should be able to put the damage immunity over here. Call an assist and dispel the protection up. Now we get a big hit over on Vader. Not really feeling any damage, but it is stacking, so it'll probably be getting better. Alright, we do have an ability block, which is nice. We got an armor shred coming up next. But we're getting the ability blocked. So we got to do basic. But we're getting our assist. Getting the assist. We're there. Don't you die on me. Alright, back to the healing immunity. Come on, right here. Not the one I wanted to assist. Drop the shred, even though maybe... Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go! Yes! Okay, okay. Don't you die on me. Don't you dare die on me. Alright. Come on. Alright, down. I'm gonna try and keep him alive. Alright, damage immunity. Alright, big hits. Drop a shred. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I guess we'll be doing that and not... No, Maz Kanata should be fine. That should have worked. We just got to tweak things. Maz has been working all week since we took Qui-Gold off of defense to give myself a tank. This guy is just good. He just has good modding, and so we saw some stuff not work ideally. And plus, I think my relic levels were a little lower this week on Maz. Like, Maz was like relic 5 for next week. Maz is going to be higher. Okay, that means I can safely use SLKR here. Although with these ones without great crons, I want to use a different counter. But I also don't want to experiment right now. Where was I? Right now I'm fielding some texts and stuff about Rob Reiner, which is a messed up story that I won't go into. But he is somebody whose work I very much treasure and value, particularly When Harry Met Sally. That is one of my favorite movies. It is one of the most perfect movies. That movie doesn't have an ounce of fat on it. That script is so good. There's not a single thing that you can take out. I adore that movie. It's so smart. Let us get into this. And he had a long stretch, like The Princess Bride, the Stand By Me. And there's a long stretch where, like, Rob Reiner wasn't making a bad movie. Let's go with that. Alright, so counter, damage immunities are still up. What is going on? What? That's never happened before. Did I grab a wrong cron or something? What? I can't believe this. There's no way. There's just no way. The counter doesn't lose. How did I lose this? I'm gonna have to watch that footage again. I do not understand what happened there. That felt like it doesn't even matter what you do kind of counter, and apparently it does. Or just modding or something was so good there. What is going on with this? It wasn't even a good cron. I don't get it. Maybe I could have done the second special on Ray, but I haven't been this whole time. I usually save that one until the damage immunities come off, but I don't know. Maybe I should have done it. Alright, we're going to have to use Bane because that has the best win rate of what I have available. Interestingly, C Bane does poorly, but there are versions where Bane has been winning. Now that could be other things going on like attacker crons and stuff. This version had been doing well, so we're going to go with it. I'm going to go with the attacker cron. And oh, you know what? We should check the crown. Oh, I already checked the crown. That wasn't it. I'm hoping the fear spreads and controls it for a minute to give me a little bit of time or something. Let's increase the cooldowns. Fear. No fear. Okay, so that's not a thing on this team. Well, AoE, which did nothing. Don't like that. Big hits. Don't you die on me. I'm gonna go increase cooldowns. Awesome, that actually did something. And we AoE. He's down. I am so happy this worked because I was getting worried. Because to lose two good counters that we were expecting to win, hoping and relying that they were going to win. Okay. Alright, we're still alive. But now things get a little trickier because we're running out of counters. We have... this wasn't anything good, right? Yeah, it was whatever. This, we can definitely Jabba or JML that. This we can Balin. Third Sister is tougher. Third Sister we could JML. We don't have Bow anymore. What's up above? The Cadme I'm worried about because that's Relic 9. But Cadme's Relic 7. And the Saw. Yeah. Cadme, because we don't have Bane anymore. Man. I don't like it. We're gonna go JMK. How did that... I did the Snips counter the other day, didn't I? How did that go? I don't remember how it went. How good is my Snips? Terrible mods. 222. Well, she's assisting all the time. It's not a huge deal, but still only 2 Relic 5 mods. But at least she's Relic 9. Like Mace Windu actually has a lower win rate, but not by much. But he does have a tauntish thing going on. Man. What if we... Do we have more attacker crowns? I'm gonna go with this. I don't know. I think this mostly worked last time. I can't remember how it went. I'm gonna charge because the damage, resetting the cooldowns doesn't actually matter until we can ignore taunt. Okay. Don't like it. Alright. Get rid of all the buffs. Okay. Charging. Man, I just want to do a basic because of where that... let's do it. That may have been a mistake. Maybe I should have just taken him out. But he was so close to death. I want to use the one shot elsewhere, like here on Queen Amidala. Or on Qui-Gon. Oh, let's take her out. Okay, that worked perfectly this time. Her ignoring Snips ignoring taunt, ignoring the decoy was huge. I don't remember that being part of her kit though. Is that part of GMK's kit? I don't remember that. All right. How am I beating Saw? See, the thing is, I don't think Gas is going to win, particularly my Gas. It didn't even win last round, and I don't think we're facing the Saw Kron last round, but it was a better Saw. Yeah, let's just do it. Ran out of attacker crons. I'm just kind of counting on the fact that they're Relic 5 on a lot of these characters, so the lower relics puts me in a favorable position, is what I'm telling myself. Alright. Okay. Maybe I should have gone after Luthen. Alright, stealth triggered on 2 of them, 3 of them. Guys back, awesome. Awesome, we've won. Perfect, that didn't do anything. Okay. Which makes things easier. I don't need to worry about Finn. So I can head back down here. And now I can just I have a much easier route. Because now I think I can guilt-free use Jabba here. Right. Support. I'm not going to take a good one. I'm not going to need it for this counter. Actually, how good's his Balin? Because the Balin might be more of a concern. Is Balin's Relic 7s, double Ami? Because Jabba would be an automatic. JMLs can win, but it's actually not as like automatic as you'd think it would be. There's some alternate versions that actually do better, like Jedi Knight Revan. Like we could throw in Jedi Knight Revan to this spot. Let's give it a shot. It's a 1% difference. It's not a big deal. It gets a little bit better on banners too. I don't think we have any great crons to consider. Do I have excellent? Let's just get something with good protection. 9%. Do any of these? Let's just grab. Let's grab this one. All right, we're going to AoE. Didn't do anything. I'm gonna go after Shinhari. I don't even know if that's who we want to mark. It seems like who we would. Okay. I'm gonna increase cooldown here. Oh, don't you be dodging. Alright, she's down. Let's get rid of the retribution. I'm gonna save the marked. Maybe we'd like to use that. Okay, we're done. Alright. Now we can safely use Jabba over on third. If my Treya was better, we would use Treya there, but you can check out last round what happens with my Treya. It's just my relic levels aren't high enough to survive long enough. Which actually should be one of my higher priorities for upping my relics. Okay, so we got torture. Let us buff immunity. All right, what's AoE? I got tenacity up. Let's get rid of the days. Come on, this is annoying. Let's taunt. Throw out more thermals. I gotta get these thermals on places where they're actually gonna do some damage. Okay. There we go. Let's chuck it. We're good. Who was the last one? I can't remember. So the back wall, I'm expecting Maz Kanata, and there's something I want to try with it that I haven't done, but I saw in my opponent's history that looked interesting. What else was I expecting? Yeah, we'll see in a minute. There's my Rancor. I'm expecting like Grey Mother and stuff like that. It's not a difficult wall, which is why I'm not playing with a lot of those things in mind. Now this I can bail in. We can definitely bail in this. Hopefully we're not overlooking something on the back wall that's going to cause me problems. I'm hoping my opponent gets tripped up by my defense. Because looking at his history, I think one of the things that happened to him is he's faced some pretty easy opponents. So he might not be expecting or might not be prepared for some of the things that I have. Let's just take it. All right. Check that out. Let's stun and dispel. I'm gonna chuck vulnerable on everybody. AoE and here. Okay. Disguise this down. Come. Ugh. I hate it. That's annoying. Okay. Alright, finish off Tarkin, now we're good. Let's auto. Alright, so that back wall, we got two things I can remember that we're expecting. Maz Kanata and Great Mother. Maz, we're going to try a thing with Keller and Jocasta, because that's what one of my previous opponents did. Not a thing that I was aware of that I want to try out. So let's look at it. Jedi Vanguard. We got Keller and Jocasta and what? History used Plo Koon. We'll try it out. And I don't know. Are you guys all attackers? Well, no, Plo's a tank. I think Keller and Jocasta are attackers, right? What do we have with attackers? Mark somebody. Is that gonna mess me up? Who are we facing again? Maz Kanata? I get very concerned about the marked ones because it can actually mess things up. We're gonna do it because I don't think we're gonna have an issue in this match. I'm just hoping my mods are in a position where this battle goes the way that I need it to. Turn meter. Don't like how this is going yet. Let's do a hit. I'm gonna go to basic because I don't want the retribution. Alright, Maz is down. Interesting. I don't get it. But I'll take it. I'm not gonna question it. It worked. It feels like a team that Maz should be able to beat. Come on. Oh wait, I can't. Oh, did they fix Jocasta? Okay. Well, that's not good. Boom. Alright, good. We cleared it. Let's move on. What else do we have? Great Mother, Enoch, Radis, Melgus. Okay. This weekend, simply Darth Revenant. This has been fine. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, I used Darth Revan. Well, we can Melgus it. That also works. Unless there's a couple other teams like Finn and stuff where Melgus is useful. Do I want to consider this for a moment? How am I beating everything? We have Melgus. I have Kelkestis still. I could just use Kelkestis here. Radis. How have I, was that Gungans? How have I been beating Radis? Radis is also Melgus situation. Wait, okay, so how do I want to deal with Great Mother? Alright, I think I've got the formulation of a plan. We can see this. Okay. Right? Are we good? We're good. This looks like... No. We're gonna go walk in a second. No. Quiet. Esme, come. This isn't Esme, this is Masha. Alright, so was I wrong to look at the history that said I could solo this? Alright. Is this one of those things where I need to have a better C and I made a mistake? It's feeling that way. It is really feeling like that. Don't you? Don't. No. Alright, I think that's just an issue of me having either bad mods or bad relic levels on my C. That's irritating. Alright, I'm gonna walk these dogs and we'll be back. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, I was messing up a easy counter with Great Mother. Okay, that's where we left off. Let me plot this out. Alright, I got a route. We're doing Melgus here, which it actually does not have the kind of win rate that I thought it did, but it's been working for me, so let's just move on. Sure. I don't think I've lost with it, but this guy's had some stuff that's been messing me up. Alright, drop the Dark Deception. Debuffs. Get rid of that taunt. He's got a stagger now. Let's hit this stagger. Put blind. We'll hit the shock and hit the staggers. Get a couple hits over onto Great Mother. Let's get ability block. Perfect. That's fine. Next turn we have Dark Deception. Can we throw more? I was hoping to get a... Well, you know what? Let's not hit that stagger. Or not hit that fear, I mean. Oh, fine. Alright, fine. Alright, can we drain? Perfect. Alright, from here we've won. It's over. I'm really surprised that this doesn't have a 100% win rate. It was like 89 or something. It was like 89% win rate, which just seems... I don't know. Doesn't seem right. Okay. Now, what? Enoch, we're gonna Gungans this up. Let's see here. Not Sith. Gungan. We just said it. Gungans. Phalanx? What did I do last time? Yeah, I did Phalanx. Dark. I have not returned from that walk. Looks good. Good enough. Whatever. This is just keep going until Enoch is taken out. Yeah, let's get Retribution up. A Deathmark would be real nice. I was looking at that final Ami on Jar Jar, but it's just... I didn't feel like it changes anything. I feel like the Gungans already win all their counters. And it doesn't add any counters, so I couldn't come up with a narrative for why I would want to do it. I mean, it would speed things up, but it's not changing the counter. Alright, we're cleansing. We hit. We're through the protection. Just gonna ignore the sides. Okay. We're at 340, more debuffs. Enoch is about gone. There we go. Alright, let's auto. And Night Trooper doesn't have the Ami. Not that it's changing this counter, but it just means it's things a little bit easier. Okay. What's it gonna be? Alright, they're still working on the shield generator. Alright. Ooh, Deathmark over on Judge Death. I'm not gonna say that. If any of you wonder why I call him Judge Death, just look up a picture of Judge Death. Alright, come on. We're at 230. Deathmark would speed this up so much. There we go. There's Deathmark right where. What? Come on. What's the point of Deathmark if it's not even going to apply into this kind of situation? I guess technically it's not a revive, like it's a stack, and fine. Like you have to land a crit to take them out. Okay, there's a crit apparently. Like I get why the Deathmark didn't apply, but just like it's just annoying. All right. Where am I? Let's talk about Coliseum. I got a level 33, I think IG90, level 28 Luke. That just says more about my opinion of the end state of the characters, but really it doesn't matter. I'm just pushing IG90 a little bit further, even though there is definitely a strong argument for Luke. I'm just letting my own biases get involved. I'm trying to accomplish that feat challenge before it wraps up in a day. A little over 24 hours for it. Alright, next we're looking at Rogue One. And this... we're going to go with Traya, but you'll see again why I don't fully trust my Traya. I really got to up the relics here. I need to write this down because I keep forgetting about this. This is one of those things that is becoming a problem. Alright, well, you know what, let's take all these. We're not giving it to Iden. Yeah. Let's increase, we got one. Do I want to? Yeah, I think I do want to isolate Radis. Get rid of those buffs. Play AoE, I can't swap. Can we ability block? Yeah. Increasing cooldowns. Into the yellow, which means we can land a big hit. Yeah, let's do it. Although, oh no, here we go. We're good. CG really needs to revisit the marquee releases. I like the Coliseum and the eras and all of that as a replacement for the marquee system, but the timing of it's not right. To go like 6 months or whatever before you can actually use these characters within a Grand Arena context, that's ridiculous. I'd care less about if they released like the Gungans like that, because getting an individual Gungan, you're in a way you don't have a functional team for X number of months anyway. But these are one-off characters. We could immediately be using like IG90 or Asajj or Inquisitor. You could just add them to your roster right away. And I'm fine using the Coliseum and eras as like a delayed way of releasing them. It's more engaging, it's more fun, but we need to infuse Grand Arena with changes at a faster rate. What am I doing right now? I got distracted. Okay, Melgus. What was on my notes? Melgus. Oh, I was going to do Kelkestis. One of the side benefits of saving Kelkestis. Although, who do we want? We can do, where were you at? I just saw you. It's going to do Bastila lead. There we go. Bastila, Kelkestis, and Yoda? Yeah, we're doing it. Barris. No, let's just use this room. Thought about throwing in Barris instead of Hermit Yoda for a second, but nah. Alright. Let's get Retribution up. We have the ability block. It's working out great. We get some good counters here. Countering, boom. Awesome. Can we shred you to death? Yes. Let's throw out some of that. Retribution up. Saving the one shot from Melgus. So we will need to... Yeah, let's get rid of those buffs. Okay. And let's auto, we're done. This isn't Esme either. Alright. I'm thinking half. You want to go over here? Here you go. Go right there. We're gonna go Afro. All right, we'll do this. Take care of fleets. And then we can wrap up. All right, droid friends out on the field. We got AoE. All right, they're dead. Some things didn't work as intended. I think some of that is some of my modding. Some of it's definitely his modding. Some of it's relic levels. Because I mostly played this in a normal way. Alright. We have the profundity. We have the negotiator. I gotta think about this because I don't want to get myself into an issue again. Because we could do the profundity and take out the executor, but then we're gambling on Raven's Claw with the malevolence, which wins but doesn't have the best win rate. And then we're dealing with a Marauder Mirror. Or I could do endurance up against the negotiator, which brings us into a profundity counter to the Raven's Claw, and then we're looking at an Empire counter to the Chimera, not the Chimera, to the negotiator, which is the route I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, what's the downside to attempting the malevolence here? I run out, I'm one fewer counter, but I wasn't going to use this counter with any of the other ships. It's got an 83% win rate. Let's gamble. If we drop one, we drop one. But the reason I think this is worth doing is I don't like the win rate with the endurance either on the executor. Alright, so we're taking those hits. They get into this mode. They're gonna do their big attack. Alright. Can we stun you? You dodged. Okay. And I only have gear 12 on Sunfac too, which is not great. I should probably prioritize changing that. Alright, I'm going to do that. Tempting. I'm going to clear some foresight, I guess. I'm not going to trigger that retribution until maybe we get some vulture droids out on the field, or buzz droids on the field, I mean. Let's get the buzzies out. Alright, Sunfac's down. Like, I do not like how this is going at all. Alright, Spy, save me. Where are you landing? Awesome. Alright, that's the spot. Oh my god, if you had some droids on you. We got the RNG we needed. But now they're stealthed. All right, you're gone. All right, we're dropping him here. But now we lost Hyena. But Raven's Claw down is huge. Have I been seeing Raven's Claw instead of B-Wing this battle? It sounds like something I would do. Alright, but taking out Vulture Droids is good because it means we're generating turn meter towards our... Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that! Oh, jeez, it's scary. Okay. Awesome. That's annoying. Alright, you're down. Wedge. Let's bring out another Vulture Droid. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think this was the right call. I think I need to add some relics to these pilots so it's a little bit more reliable on my end. We should do it anyway for TBs and stuff, but I got gear tool. Are my Geos still full gear 12? I think my Geos are still full gear 12. Which is a little odd. Alright, we're going to do the Chimera here. This one, though, for whatever reason, we need to have the Scythe on the front line. So we take this guy out, we bring in the Scythe. It's like an 89% win rate. Let's go with it. We're gonna do this. Let's think about this. Let's think about it 1 second, because we still have the negotiator, which I wouldn't have done in a mirror, 'cause it's not great. It would only be the profundity if the negotiator fails above. I think we're going this route. I feel like this counter is less risky than my endurance counter. We're gonna try and burn through the Y-Wing. Ooh, this is bad. That's bad. See, losing the Scythe this early is bad. Alright, we're gonna bring out the Defender, but who is next? I'm gonna neutralize the Marauder, because that's the one I think's more dangerous, even though I knew we were gonna... I don't feel like this is gonna go my way. This feels like a loss. Yeah, this is over. That's over. But now we know. So which means we have to do endurance here. Endurance... punishing one. I need to write that like endurance executor or something, because that's not how I think about this fleet. Could also use some Gear 12 pilots here. One of the things I don't like about this counter is sometimes it doesn't follow my expectations. Like sometimes they get the payout off before Karth even comes out, so Karth is irrelevant at that stage. Alright. So we're doing little 5s basic action. Now we're going to taunt onto Rex. Rex is gone. Now we're going to do the AoE with the Marauder. See, now they got the payout off. So now bringing out Karth does nothing, so I'm not going to do... I should have brought in more ships. Alright, so I'm bringing out Anakin now. In basic... I wish I had... here we go. AoE. Please take out the... yes. Okay. Alright. But I'm afraid we're going to lose the Marauder. And we don't have a good cleanup left. Yeah, we're going to lose the Marauder, and I don't have a cleanup. I should have brought in another backup ship. Alright, let's get buff immunity. Are you kidding me? Okay, we're definitely submitting that. Negotiator. No way. I feel like we can pick this apart. I'm going finalizer. Why is they getting the Houndstooth? Whatever, that's better for me anyway. Alright. I want the ability block. Are you serious? Alright, Houndstooth neutralized, but I'm gonna lose this. Maybe I could have played it differently, but I kind of felt like I had an opportunity here. Without silencer, we don't have a shot here. But maybe we can soften it up just enough. I don't know, I'm a little worried about this. I want to do the Profundity up against the Executor, but with how this performed, I think we needed to go this route. This dispels, right? There's our disruption. I'm gonna basic. attacking where we're forced to. I'm just gonna attack because the days is coming off anyway. I'm just gonna knock out Baron because it's. No, we're not. Just thinking about it. Okay, that's wrapped up. He made me work for it more than I thought. He's got Leviathan and Profundity for offense. It's a little easier for him. It's gotta be Radis. I basically need this to win or we can't full clear. And I have very little faith that this is going to work at this stage because I just think the Slave 1 is set up to do some real damage in the opening. Which maybe we got lucky about. Alright, let's go here. Alright. I'm going this route. Yes. Yes. Alright, AoE. Don't really like how this is going. Really don't like how this is going. Okay. Alright, comeuppance. Let's hit it. Alright, I'm taking out Slave 1 now. Awesome. Okay, we got it. Alright, we got my clear, but it's not as good as I would have liked, so I really have no idea if I've won this or not. The confidence I have is that I think my defense is harder than anything that he faced, at least last week. Maybe this week it was tough. So he might get tripped up by my defense. He might not be prepared for it. I also have better relics and better mods than him in general, but you kind of saw that like he was well modded too, so things went pretty well for him. So we'll just check back in the morning and see how it goes. His participation last week was he was doing like 1,500, 1,600 banners in the ones that he was winning, and then the final match he did the minimum battle. So it might be something where he's such a huge hater of fleets that if it takes something like fleets to win, he might just concede because he did not play them in the matches he won. Anyway, we'll check back, see. Mission accomplished. We got our 3-0 week, which means next week I only need to win one match in order to finish with a winning season to go 5-4, which we're probably going to need because we are 28 skill rating away from Kyber 1. So next week's bracket is going to be a tough one, but we're still going to try and win at least 2 of those things because I want to finish the season in Kyber 1, get those extra crystals during the off week. Now let's check to see what my opponent even did. Last time I looked, he hadn't even attacked. That might be the case. No, he did attack. And what did he do? One shot the front wall. And then it looks like that's all he did. Yeah, no attacks here. Let's check up top. And no attacks there. Yeah, he gave it to me. He did the minimum. He had a 2-in-1 week, though. He's probably happy. Enzo did prove to be a worthy challenge. I wish he would have engaged more. I would have liked to see how this match would have turned out had he fully participated. But we will wrap it up here. Hopefully can make up some videos that I wanted to do during the weekend that got interrupted from some unplanned things. But we'll be back soon with more content. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.